Wait, what's she doing here?
Your Holiness, you're already here.
Kaldisla disappeared from our memories, only to appear again all of a sudden. Something is amiss here.
Indeed. And the king has just shared with me an equally disturbing tale.
Do tell.
For those of us on the outside, it was as though Kaldisla suddenly returned to our memories. But for the people of this land, it was the existence of the rest of the world which came back to them only now.
A most curious state of affairs indeed. I ask of you, Vestal of Wind, beg pardon, Your Holiness, I would hear your counsel. Whatever should I and my kingdom do?
Your Highness, I thank you for welcoming me back to Kaldisla with such warmth. As for your question...
I'm glad your arm's feeling better.
My arm? Yes, it's fine.
That's a load off. Seeing you run about all the time, sometimes I get worried.
Wait.
I'm simply doing my duty. I do not find it a burden.
So come on, spill it. Did you find out anything about Yoko?
Yoko? What are you...
But what do you think, Idia?
Huh? I think, sorry, what are we talking about?
Honestly, idiot, this is a serious meeting between world leaders.
We were discussing how the balls might be appearing.
Never mind how they appear. We don't even know where they come from.
That's true. And even if we did know, something is clearly different this time.
There are just too many things we don't understand about these balls.
I'm sorry. I should know more.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Magnolia. It's not your fault.
Our heroes, surely you must be exhausted after such a harrowing battle. Pray, stay the night and rest yourselves.
No, something's up. It's fucking Yoko again.
Quelle deception. And I call myself a ball buster. What do I truly know about the balls? I never even thought to ask.
Please, don't blame yourself, Magnolia. I'm no better. I knew nothing about the true Crystal Guard. Nothing about my own brother.
You. Thank you.
Oh, there must be someone out there who can give us a clue, right?
Do not judge a carrot by its leaves, nor a man by his words alone. True value is rarely apparent on the surface, you'll find.
Ah! It's a ghost!
My young friends, it would seem you have questions about the balls, and I may very well have answers. It is, well, comme ci, comme ça. Would you start with the good news, or the bad?
Oh, this never ends well. All right, give us the good news first.
The good news is that, yes, I have finally uncovered the truth behind the balls.
Ah, la vache! You have? And what is it?
I'm afraid that brings us to the bad news. I believe, no, I am convinced, that the balls are the unresolved feelings of my dearest Vega given life.
C'est horrible! How can this be? Vega was your beloved, no? The one you left behind in the Celestial Realm?
The same. And the balls that threaten to destroy Luxendark. As much as I am loath to admit it, they were born of our shared memories.
Your memories created the balls? How is that even possible?
It is only a theory, but I believe that Vega even now harbors feelings of deep yearning and remorse. And that someone, something, has seized upon these emotions, giving them physical form as weapons of mass destruction.
What a monster! Manipulating someone's feelings for such a terrible purpose!
You can say that again. So, this means that the balls come from the Celestial Realm?
That would be the only reasonable assumption.
That settles it. Altair, let's go to the Celestial Realm and save Vega from this nightmare.
Oh, a most kind offer you. And yet I fear it is not so simple. I too long to see my Vega again, so I searched and searched for a way to reach the Celestial Realm, to no avail.
We'll just have to keep trying then. Never say never until you're dead.
A sentiment I shared, my dear you, which is why I kept trying, kept searching, until my death.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
A joke, my dear boy, a joke!
So you're just going to give up? You've carried on all these years in the hopes of seeing Vega again. Now you're just going to accept how things are?
Oh, of course I do not accept it. How could I accept my beloved being used as an instrument of destruction? I want to help her with all my heart, I do, and yet... My friends, might I beseech your aid?
Whoa, why so formal? Of course you can. Magnolia here is a ballbuster after all.
And even if I weren't, I would help. Anyone who'd use another's love for the purpose of evil deserves to get theirs.
Right. You've been our friend from the start, Altair. We've been through so much together. We're not giving up on you now.
Your friend? Oh, thank you, my dear children. As a matter of fact, I unearthed a new clue since coming to this place. A fairy named Anna.
Right. It was as if Diamante was under her control.
And she mentioned something about her master, didn't she?
I think we've seen enough to know that she's involved up to her eyeballs.
Then our course of action is clear. Search out Anna, my young friends. With all my heart. Bonne chance.
This is one of the first Bravely Defaults. What? What? It told me to open a file, and I don't know why, so I'm gonna hit no to that and see if that breaks anything. And again, that file thing. Shut up.
So there was a path between Luxendark and the Celestial Realm right here. What a delightful surprise. I've been having so much fun taking out the moon that I never even thought to look for one. But this changes everything. Why, from a place like this, I can summon balls and balls galore. Those Moonies can't do a thing for Luxendark if my balls come through here. They'll be pumped and primed for battle. And not only that, oh no, it might even be possible for my lord to descend upon Luxendark from here. The only fly in the ointment is you, Jenny Olja, and his stupid friends. They've interfered with me every step of the way. Why, they've even recovered memories from alternate dimensions. That's basically cheating, you know. How are they doing it? Is it that hourglass they have? No, that alone wouldn't explain it. Ugh! What is their little secret?
I have this sneaking suspicion that that was a Actually, I don't even know what that was for, actually. I have no idea why the emulator said, select a file to load, which means the game, inherently itself, was trying to access something that the emulator does not have on hand, so it wanted me to upload something to do with it. So maybe it was trying to... Like, if you remember in Bravely Default 1, there are segments in the game where it can actually, or near mainly the final boss, where you can see the camera shows up on the game because it uses the 3DS's camera feature to show the player in the background and whatever the game is seeing. And maybe that's what it was trying to like load up and look into. Because when that happens, it asks me like, hey, select the camera source or select an image to just sort of replace as a camera. But I don't know. I think it was. Hold on, let me find something here real quick. If it asks for that again, I'm going to give it something to auto select as like my quote-unquote camera image. Something that we will all recognize and all be able to say like, okay, the game's trying to actually get a camera input from something. Where is it? All right. Got it set up. If we see a camera, if it asks for the camera, you're going to see what it means and what I just set up. Okay, that's just... we can't talk to him for other stuff now. Huh. Can we leave? Okay, wait a second. The side quest is here. Where is it? DeRosso. Count Vampire Mr. Dude is actually alive here?
The keystones are all in place. And yes, the door's unlocked.
Ooh, what does that mean?
My guess is someone must be inside.
Let's have a look around. Be sure to wrap up warm, Magnolia. It's freezing inside.
What is that helmet there?
Ooh, I don't know how this castle manages to be colder on the inside than the out.
You've been here before, Adia?
Yeah, with Agnes and Tiz. Look, what's that? This helm. Alternus!
Stay strong, Idia. I'm sure he's all right. Let's go look for him.
So now I have a question. If you change when you change classes with the asterisks, you get new clothes. Does that mean if you become a Dark Knight, take the helmet off, give it to someone else, and then change asterisks, does the helmet stay with the other person because it's not in your possession? And does that mean that when you change back to it, you don't have a helmet, or did you just spawn a new helmet so you can actually give yourself infinite helmets? And that could explain a lot. Or very little. I don't know. What enemies are there here? I do not know what you are. Let's be cautious right now, because this is like an extra area. Okay, so they don't have much HP. They're more of like a status ailment, fuck you with the player sort of thing. There are still 2 items hidden around here. Hey, Rem, I'm about to drive to work, but it's a slow day and I'll be able to share some info with you Jinkro left for me. For starters, though, this area cannot have the encounter rate modified at all. This is the true of post-game areas. Huh. I was actually about to try just now because I'm like, yeah, let's, if these are what we're gonna find, let's get her out of it, but no, you can't. What the fuck? They want to make sure the player actually can handle themselves, I guess, when they're here. In that case, my build might actually be one of the worst ones to do here just because of encounter rates.
Look, this painting.
Yoko?
Remember what Alternus said? He was going after Yoko.
Why, if it isn't our loyal Minister of the Right.
What? Yoko?
Yoko! If you laid a hand on Alternus, I'll...
Idia, don't do anything rash.
Wise advice. We think you would do well to listen. Your knight in not-so-shining armor is fine. At least he seemed healthy, running away as fast as his legs could carry him. But enough talk about him. We are much more interested in you. Perhaps you are aware that Vampire Castle is known by another name. The Hall of Truth, where the curious can learn all there is to know. Yet some truths are not so easily faced. What of you? Would you cast off your blissful ignorance and face the truth? Then make for the floors above, but be forewarned. Before you can learn the truth, you must prove yourself worthy of it. 'Tis. Do not think you can avoid the dangers that you would encounter in this place. Within these walls, the powers of Luxendark's gods will not avail you. This is our realm. We make the rules, and you have no choice but to play by them. It is only fair, yes? A truth learned through anything other than your own efforts is no truth at all. We shall await you above. Fare thee well.
The truth? What is she talking about?
Tiz, we don't have to do anything she says.
But what about Alternus?
Aha! At last it's working.
Alternus! Thank heavens you're safe.
Yes, it was a close call, but I made it.
You should have known it was too much to handle by yourself. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
Well,
Oh, you blockhead!
Well, at least we know Alternus is safe. What should we do now?
Well, I don't trust that girl at all. This could very well be a trap.
That is a possibility, yes. But what if she's telling the truth?
All right. We have to fight through all of it. We're gonna have a lot of people just randomly fucking dying. I know it. Maybe I should actually keep them at low HP, so that way they keep on reviving, or they keep on dying immediately, since the game will say, oh, easy kill. Then we just keep on clearing the enemies. Mommy has what? Oh, nullified charm. Alright, that's mainly for the succubi here. Which is actually not bad to put on the head for our resident tank that's supposed to be healing people nonstop, but... ah, nah. If it ain't both, we're trying to break it later. We're just gonna have people dying. That's how I'm just gonna come to a conclusion. Every now and then I'm gonna open the menu to say, alright, who died? I mean, the build is built on dying, except Adia is not the one that will be dying.
We were wondering how long you meant to keep us waiting. But no matter, we shall keep our promise. This is the first truth. The tale of the ambitious man. How long did we lay in slumber, that first time that we slept? We awakened and opened our eyes to the sight of a man standing before us. This man, this ambitious man, had come to explore the shrine in which we slept. 20 years ago, another man, another ambitious man, came for us. He brought with him a young girl, and within her body encased our very soul. With this, his true goal would be realized. The man had come to plunder the shrine, to claim the treasures that had been offered to us over the ages. His expedition a success, the man assembled his fleet and set sail for Gathlatio, blissfully ignorant of the truth that within the girl's chest slept the seed of a deadly plague. Fever struck her only days into the journey. With haste, the fleet made for the nearest port. The man wanted to continue, but the girl's grandfather, the owner of the fleet, forbade it. Fearing that the girl carried a deadly disease, he appealed to the church, demanding that the girl be quarantined. The ambitious man wished to take the girl and his treasures home. He petitioned to the church for permission to set sail. The leaders of the church, unable to reach a consensus, sent for an exorcist. This exorcist, a man by the name of Geist, would free the girl of whatever evil possessed her. Those who sought to keep the girl in town thought they could use the ritual as a pretense to delay the fleet's departure. The other camp believed that once the ritual was performed, she would be cured, and there would be no more reason to hold her. And so it came to pass that a compassionate man, a covetous man, a merciful man, an ambitious man, and a wise man reached their decision. A terrible decision, the most sinful in history. The ritual was performed, and the ships were allowed to leave port. The merry fleet sailed on for Gathlatio, sowing the seeds of the plague across the realm. The name of that man, the ambitious man, who roused us from slumber, was none other than Greed Geniolja. Yes, your father.
What? You're saying that my father caused the Great Plague?
We promised you the truth, did we not? But why take our word for it? It is all here, writ in your father's own hand. If you have the courage to face the next truth, we shall await you above.
Wait, Yoko!
This is gonna be the backstory tower. I guess that's all this tower will ever be. In Bravely Default, it was also the backstory tower for like Deroso, Yoyana, and the like, and how it all came together. I gotta admit, in a weird way, I kind of am a fan of this build, if only because of the amount of times that how the fight will end quickly. How did it end? They attacked the wrong person and they all died. I think I have enough SP or MP items in order to sustain this entire economy, but we'll have to see. I picked the wrong quarter. Stopwatch, sure, yeah, whatever. Just every turn, someone else will die. Preying on me has AoE. Theoretically, Edea should not die to AoE, but that is to be seen. Because someone will die, but they'll take the rest of the enemies with them. At least for general mobs.
It took you long enough. Did you read your father's log?
Oh shit, I was supposed to read
No
that.
matter. It is time you learned the second truth. This is the tale of the sinful ruling. The wise men opposed to moving the young girl hoped that the ritual performed by the exorcist Geist would delay her departure. This would prevent the plague from spreading. But the ambitious man and covetous man were impatient and tried to foil their plan. Still, they could not stop Geist from reporting the girl's condition to the church's Office of Public Health. Upon receiving the report, the Office of Public Health ordered the girl quarantined and barred from further travel. Regrettably, it did not end there. The covetous man within the church appealed to the merciful man. The church should use their vaunted medicine to treat the girl, said he. And the ambitious man appealed to the loving man. The poor girl deserves the finest treatment the church can offer, said he. And so it came to pass. The merciful man and the compassionate man changed their minds. They ordered that the fleet be allowed to sail. And so the ships, with their treasure and the ailing child in tow, unfurled their sails and set a course for distant Gathalottio. The fleet berthed at many towns along the way, unwittingly sowing the seeds of death at every port of call. Only when they landed on their third continent did dire tidings reach the ears of the sailors. The first port they had docked at was in the grip of a terrible plague. Faced with a crisis and with morale low, Greed, your father Yu, made a decision. He gave every sailor in the fleet a flagon of rum filled with poison. The men died, one after the next. Their ships, their treasure, the poor girl and her dear grandfather, all were swallowed by the waves. Perhaps the church had ordered that Eternia alone be spared. Who can say for sure? What we do know is that greed, and greed alone, made a triumphant return to Gathalotio. Though he had lost nearly his entire fleet, he had salvaged treasure enough to fill the church's coffers. He became a man of great standing in the church's hierarchy, and the very next year was blessed with his firstborn son.
Danny, my brother.
Yes. It was not long after this that the dark hand of the plague came to Eternia. But here, why not read for yourself your father's words? You have faced 2 truths. Have you the courage to face another? I await you in the halls above.
All right, are those actually logs I can see here? All right, it actually is. Because here are his logs all the way going down to 7. God, there's a lot to read. Let's go ahead and knock these out, I guess, and then we're gonna keep on going with this on the way to the top of the tower. The first one is Mephilia's memos. Not related, but I'm not gonna take a chance. Finally, quite summoner asterisk. Now, thanks to that old lech's advice, mind. Feel it, don't think it. Every summon is like the summoner's own child, utterly useless. And then, after giving me Gretabululu, he has the nerve to say I'm on my own for the rest? Honestly. If Sano owes him the biggest challenge, I'll find him for you. Those were his words, sweet man. I'll have to hurry and find the others. It seems, I'll share my next post with both my sisters. Between, Einhar's spear, Artenia's bow, and my summons, the Venus sisters will be unstoppable. I can't remember the dates. I can't begin to care. This beautiful garden is being sullied so magnificently. It's thanks to us, to our mission. The ship you sailed west has been lost, missing, they say. Fools. Liars. Can't remember my own sister's face now. Can't remember yours. My Suleiman. And it was mostly same from default. I've taken the advice of that spacey old man and let go of all my summoning magics. Or almost all of them. I still have the power of Hersvigalila, but all the others, even the one my sweet Suleiman got for me, are gone. The spell should recover their true power this way, and I should finally be able to obtain the ultimate summoning spell. Hersvigalila, Day 6, where a ball once scarred the land. Zusifazata Sin, briny cave in the withering desert nation. Promethean fire, forgotten path for water, cradled by a great bridge. Great Tabululu, crystal tower where ancient wisdom is bound and hidden. Charybdis, within the great husk of that sinking ship. Sano, mausoleum where spirits house, and Amaterasu, frozen land reached only by skilled sailing. This is where they tell you where all of them are. Okay, and it just explains them. The great ebon eagle that sunders the dark clouds above, the beating of its vast wings, cutting down foes upon the earth. Earned by defeating Summoner Ophelia. Okay, it's just an encyclopedia of them. Alright. Then the last one. Oh no, okay, let's go to this one. Let's go from there to finally the first one. Anorthodoxia. We were met at the port by a young girl. By all accounts, she is the granddaughter of our holy patron, who arranged for our entire fleet of ships. Her age, pedigree, and the quickness of her mind all recommended her. Yeah, recommended her. Our orders from the church are to locate, explore, and report on this ancient shrine of legend, said to lie in this thick wood. Not all were pleased by my appointment. Yet when they heard that I had located the shrine in mere weeks, oh how the pretty songbirds did change their tunes. It was never divine providence that led us here, nor even the power of the crystals. I knew the location of the ancient shrine before ever we set sail. Founder, the first herald of the great Genealogia family, left clear precepts behind him upon his passing. These rules are designed to preserve the family's position and influence among the orthodoxy. Or so it would seem. Yet that was not the true purpose of the last edicts we have inherited. An admonishment on how to be an admirable ruler is not all Founder left for his progeny. I decoded the secret message Cooch within my Founder's final testament. There I discovered the true Founder, and while it took over a dozen years, my preparations now come to bear fruit. The exploratory mission has been approved, and we are sent to discover the ancient shrine. Then on to the second log. I moved the spirit within the girl's body, but it would take us 3 months to move all the abundant riches within the shrine to the shore, and a further 2 months to have it all ready for transport on the ships. The statue of Cuchulainn alone, which the Orthodoxy wishes to claim for their own treasury, weighs so heavily upon the ships chosen to bear that it seems likely to sink. It was no sooner that our fleet departed that our youngest guest fell ill. The girl came down with a sudden fever of unknown origins. Her grandfather, our financer, is against us sailing on and will not be persuaded by me, though I have spent days trying to get him to see reason. I sense that we are being manipulated by some force from the shadows. I made my plea to the church's upper echelons, begging leave to transport the girl and our goods back home, but I fear my enemies struck there as well. The heads of the church, unable or unwilling to give me a direct answer, have decreed that some assistants be sent out to meet us. Geist, a man popular with the masses, has been tasked with exorcising the evil spirits from the girl. And must we then wait to see the outcome of a ceremony? Is this some compromise meant to appease those of us who wish to set sail while allowing those in power to measure up the ones who would oppose us? Regardless of what the church wants, the winds are beginning to blow once more. Reports tell us that the exorcist Geist, dispatched to us by the Orthodoxy, seems to have set out from the neighboring nation. Thanks to my spies from the church, I can now see clearly what it is my enemies have in mind. It is the ones that they call the wise man, who remain so resoundingly against our fleet's return home. Those who are hostile to myself are likely colluding with the intellectuals at the Office of Public Health. Their combined influence is not to be underestimated. I may be the leader of the Genealogia family, which has so long stood at the helm of the Crystal Guard, but I know that I am being mocked as being an ambitious man, quote unquote. And the compassionate man who leads our fleet, the very financer who is distressed about the girl's condition, has been another central figure in the argument over whether to move the girl or not. I suppose our current Pope is the one they refer to as the, quote, merciful man. And the covetous men? There's no telling how many there are, nor where they are. At any event, both those for and those against moving the girl will be watching Geist's progress with bated breath. Alright. A list has been procured of all the parties who cannot be brought to our side. The elders and their ilk, all avowed to their unimpeachable morals, don't even recognize that their desperate desire to remain clean-handed is still a form of desire, of greed. They're nothing more than old fools. They need not be heeded. No. The issue lies with the ones who have no interest in profit, who refuse our temptations, cleaving instead to their own firm principles and ideals. I do not know him personally, but this young Bishop Brave, as well as Norzen, the head of the research at the Office of Public Health, they and their fellows do give me cause for concern. I am ordering a thorough report of their histories so that I can determine the proper price to guarantee their assistance. 1 second. Moving something right here. And gonna sit down a bit more. A letter arrived from the Pope. The ruling has come back in our favor. The best possible outcome we could hope for. The Pope has determined that the girl will be removed from Gathalitio, whatever that was. Geist has carried on with his holy rites, and none could fault his decision. I will say that for the man. Despite all our demands that he bring exorcism to a hasty end, he carried on indifferently, keeping those interfering fools abreast of every detail that his cunning eyes noticed. For I am sure of it, Geist has been reporting to the wise man from my homeland. So I began to work upon the covetous man of the nation. Those within the church, those within the Office of Public Health. Every last man, with a shred of avarice in him, was drawn to our aid. Next, I feigned sympathy with the wise men who were against moving the girl to my homeland. The girl was afflicted with some febrile pestilence. So I insisted that she needed be brought to the seat of the Orthodoxy, home to the most advanced healing arts in the world. By doing so, I was successful in convincing the compassionate man as well. And ooh, bits. Maybe thanks for the bits. You're awesome. I feel we're brave and Norzum. Yeah. My maneuvering of the covetous man, my careful plans devised from within the Orthodoxy. It was these, as well as the pleas of our compassionate men, and the merciful man, a man acquiescing, which won us our ruling. The ones who lost this day will carry on about what a sinful decision it was. But once we set sail, no one will be able to stop us. Geist, a man who only exists by the grace of the Orthodoxy, looks so very at a loss. He had been sent out by the church's orders, and now he was forced to cut the ritual short by that same church's orders. He bid the girl a courteous farewell, and then turned for home and hearth. As now do I. Alright. The fleet, weighed down by our great load, made slow progress. It has taken us 10 months to reach the Eternal Vortex. The girl is protected by her grandfather, Ensconst, whatever that is, to a special crafted pleasure boat meant for royalty, cushioned from the vagaries of the waves. But reports do reach us on the ship I helm tells us that she still suffers from high fevers. Just really backstory. Our first landfall was when we pulled in at an unscheduled port to weather a sudden storm, but we had been able to continue our journey without any further unanticipated stops. We did lose 3 of our ships to pirates who have attacked on 2 separate occasions, but our losses remained relatively light. Now here's some commotion from without. It seems the message has arrived. And that's where my logs end. Alright. Let's go find out the next log. I'm just gonna skip the items because I'm pretty sure I know that none of them are gonna really be like big items just yet. Not until the final area. Back to the tradition of someone dying at all times. What's the next truth?